As my family and I have worked through the grieving process, I've said all along, what I've said time and again to others, that it may very well be that that process, by the time we get through it, closes the window on mounting a realistic campaign for president, that it might close. I've concluded it has closed.
That rather substantial wind cutting across America around noon Eastern time today was the collective sigh of relief from Hillary Clinton supporters everywhere, breathing deeply the air of freedom from being second-guessed and chased by the only individual who many believed could have sent her finally into political oblivion. But there is no rest for the weary or the accused, as Mrs. Clinton gets a reprieve on eve of her latest appearance before the House Select Committee, seeking perhaps for the final time to prove she's the reason Americans died in Benghazi. Let's dig the dirt on all this and cover what cooks from here. He's the veteran political analyst, co-author of the book Power Grab, Obama's Dangerous Plan for a One-Party Nation. Dick Morris is back in the hardline house. Dick, let's go ahead and start right out with Joe Biden. And I think David Leonhardt of the New York Times maybe put it best today when he said the party had already decided for Mrs. Clinton. Many of Mr. Biden's likeliest allies were discouraging him, and there were few or no defections from Mrs. Clinton's camp. Just decided it was impossible to do at this time. Your take?
Yeah, I think all that's true, but it didn't bear on whether he did it or not. The only way that he could possibly have run for president and gotten this nomination was if Hillary was going to be indicted. And if she were, then obviously he would have an excellent shot. Indeed, the whole purpose of his candidacy has to be seen as a kind of indictment insurance by the Democratic Party, in just the same way that the Republican Party was instrumental in making sure Agnew in 1973 got indicted and convicted and resigned as vice president, and Gerald Ford got appointed because that was impeachment insurance. Nobody would have impeached Nixon if you'd have Agnew as president. Nobody's going to indict Hillary if you're going to have Sanders as the Democratic nominee. So Biden was in there to make sure that if Hillary got indicted, there was an alternative. And the fact is that he did not run. And I think that says that Hillary will not be indicted, that the Justice Department will not give a green light to it, and that he checked it out and he found that there was no way that she would be knocked out, would be indicted. And I think that's why he didn't run. And I think his failure to run indicates that even if the FBI comes up with material, that Obama will not allow the Justice Department to indict the prospective Democratic candidate.
Dick, is it not, though, perhaps just a lot simpler that right now you have a primary candidate, you even pointed this out in your article, who has 54% of the vote in a three-way field in one poll? He simply waited far too long. There's no way that he could have caught Hillary Clinton. Isn't it just possible that it's that simple?
No, because there was never a chance that he would catch Hillary Clinton. There's never a chance that he would beat her in a normal situation. It was only by dint of a strong Obama endorsement that would have dramatically increased his prospects for winning the black vote, which is a quarter of the Democratic primary vote, and an indictment that would slow down, hobble, or knock out Hillary Clinton. So it's like you can't see the wind, but you can see a weather vane, and that tells you what's happening with the wind. We can't see the intentions of Obama or of the Justice Department, but you can be damn sure that if they felt that they were going to indict Hillary Clinton, Joe Biden would be in this race today.
Looking at the last line that you pointed in your article, you said that the president would be unhappy with Hillary as a candidate if Biden did run. So then now that he is not going to run, do we take that then that maybe you believe and others should believe that the president is now happy with Hillary Clinton as his successor?
No, I think he's grimly reconciled to it. And I think he'll be supportive and he won't let anything. I think you'll see a stoppage of leaks. There won't be any more leaks about the FBI investigations or about the emails. The administration is going to button down and be disciplined, marching to the beat of Hillary Clinton. This effectively seals Hillary's nomination.
All right.
And it also dismisses the chance that she'll be indicted, in my view.
That was going to be my last question. Just wanted to get that absolute from you then. This, in your opinion, is the fait accompli.
We can still
With
beat
Joe
her in
Biden
November.
being out, Hillary Clinton will be the Democratic nominee.
I think so.
All right. Let's go ahead and move on then, because now we go to Benghazi. And again, Dick, the American people are going to be watching as the House Select Committee goes after Hillary Clinton and tries to get to the bottom of what happened in Benghazi. Instead of the House Committee, what do you expect Hillary Clinton to bring to the table this time that will be different from what she said last couple of times when she's had to address Benghazi?
Well, she's never really addressed it. She's just said, what difference does it make? And all of the questioning in the last Benghazi hearing related to the issue of reinforcements being sent or not sent, and whether she was warned in time. None of them really dealt, except one or two questions. I think Rohrabacher from California zeroed in on it, but I think that was about it. Which is the key question, which is, why did she lie to the American people 8 weeks before the election and blame it on a video which she knew at that point had nothing to do with it? That's question number one. Number two is, what were they doing in Benghazi in the first place? And is ISIS now fighting with armaments that we collected for them in Benghazi and shipped to them because we thought they were anti-Assad rebels, and they turned out to be ISIS? Then we get to the questions of why reinforcements were not sent, and why, as a potential commander-in-chief, she ignored the desperate pleas of the ambassador for additional reinforcements in that several-week period.
What would you expect that her answers will be then when she is pressed by the committee to try and get herself out of trouble this time?
Well, this is going to be one of those 3 or 4 week acts. She's going to say a bunch of stuff tomorrow, which over the next 3 or 4 weeks we'll find out are not true. And as we find out they're not true, her credibility ratings will drop even further, and the percent that feels she's lying will increase. She will say the administration lied. I thought it might have been a terrorist attack at the time. The fog of war obscured my vision. Stevens turned down additional reinforcements. Not true. He wanted them. He just wanted them to have diplomatic immunity and be from state, not from defense, so they couldn't be indicted if they shot anybody. She'll say that we were just there to try to oversee the peaceful end of the Libyan war. Not true. We were basically stockpiling weapons from Gaddafi's forces. She'll resort to a series of cover-ups. But now we'll have her on the record with this stuff. And then once you have that, for week after week and month after month, the Gowdy committee will be proving that she was not telling the truth. I hope, though, that they focus on Benghazi, not on the emails. I think Bernie Sanders was correct that people are tired of the email scandal, unless there's a smoking gun in the remaining emails, or you can call attention to one of the existing ones. But I think that Benghazi is a whole separate issue that reflects very poorly on the judgment she would bring to the White House as a prospective commander-in-chief.
All right, I got about 60 seconds left. You said a couple of things in here that I want to get you on here. With regard to credibility, is it not fair to say that Trey Gowdy and the committee, they've got to build credibility with the American people? The American people are tired of this, Dick. They want this settled once and for all. If there's a smoking gun here, they want somebody to pull the trigger on this and finally finish this. So don't they need to build their credibility and make sure this time, if they're going to get her, they get her?
Yeah, I think that's probably true. I don't think Gowdy has a credibility issue, but I do think the investigation is dragged on and on and on, partially for the same reason Watergate dragged on and on, because Nixon was hiding the tapes and Hillary is hiding the emails. Once you hide the evidence, the investigation tends to go on. But I do believe that Hillary will make a series of statements tomorrow which can be proven wrong.
20 seconds left. Is this the last shot for this committee against Mrs. Clinton, R.E. Benghazi?
No, not at all. Because Hillary will say the sky is green, and they will prove over the next 4 weeks that it's blue, and then they'll call her back and accuse her of colorblindness.
We are not done yet. I want to remind everybody, if you want to go ahead and learn more about not just President Obama, but the future of the Democratic Party as well, make sure you grab Dick Morris's book, Power Grab, Obama's Dangerous Plan for a One-Party Nation. Go to powergrab411.com and get a copy of the book now. Mr. Morris, always a pleasure, my friend. Thanks for joining us. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
On deck, what could be the last chance for committees to convince people, and the last chance for Rand Paul to make sure that he stays in the presidential race. It's all coming up right here on The Hard Line.